Wait. So I can't tell. How horrible do I look on camera right now, guys? I look very dark. I don't know how much I like this lighting. I really don't know how much I like this lighting. I look really dark to me. Hey guys, how's the camera looking? Yeah, that's what it's looking like to me too. I couldn't tell if it was just me. Shoot, I spent all this time getting myself set up at this table. And I have food, so I don't want to use. Let me think. Can I move the table is the question, and then I can get better lighting. Whoa. Don't lose the chair, Dawn. Don't lose the chair. I'll be back. Let me see. That's kind of noisy. Is that better? I'm not winning here with this camera, guys. Let's see. How are we doing now? Can you see my face? You guys can't see the mountains from here. That's too bad. I have a view of the mountains. Yeah, I can't win, and I didn't bring my light downstairs with me. And I don't know if I want to run up and get it just because I bought so much stuff downstairs. Like, I have my lunch sitting on the table, and I have my tea. So, yeah. I think I'm going to try to make it work from this angle. There we go. And I'm going to sit right here. Chair, stop it. Need to empty my pockets. There we go. And then it's like doom and gloom again. Whoop. I don't know how much better I can do. I was trying so hard. All right. Oh man. For anybody asking, I am still in Oregon. I'm out front of the company housing because it's nice to get some fresh air sometimes. So yeah. Boop, boop. So I'm just gonna give up. This is the best we're gonna get. Everybody's like, just leave it. So yeah, how is everybody dealing with the shut-in? Let me know in the chat. I tried not to eat on camera, but I made my lunch, which I made Brussels sprouts, and I have shrimp. So yeah. Andre asked me, do I have a cold? I think I have allergies. I don't really think I have a cold. Because I don't really have any symptoms of anything. It's just my nose, and that's like a year-round thing. So I'm pretty sure it's allergies. I'm just giving the live stream a minute before I get into any serious talking. What's up, weirdo? I have to do it properly. Like, I have to go and shout out loud. Do it in true Chrome fashion, you know. Am I that cool just to like let go of everybody and do my shout? Just be like, "What's up, weirdos?" Like the 5 people who are walking down the street are like, "Who's that crazy person?" um, Jenneth, I'm glad you're loving working from home. I wish, like, for everybody who had the convenience of like just taking their job home, like bless you guys. You guys are awesome. So yeah. Um, excuse me while I chew. um, so a couple of questions. I saw, how's the van? The van is great. I actually got it back a while ago. I haven't been driving it, but I did drive it the first day I did get it. I forgot I shot that video and then I wasn't able to use it just because the footage was a mess. But yeah, the van is back. It's fixed. It's in, I already drove it. I drove it out to a Walmart and back, so I know it's doing fine. But yeah, the van is fine. No, I don't know anybody with COVID-19. So yeah, I haven't run across anybody I know who has been, diagnosed with it. But also, like, this, unless you're like rich and famous, just getting a test is kind of difficult. So as far as I know, no. For everybody who asked. So yeah, anybody else have any curiosity questions? I'm trying not to get too deep until like a few more people get in the chat. The doggies are out. I'm shook says you should have upgraded to something bigger. That takes money. Unfortunately, vans are not cheap, so like just getting a new van was not as much of an option as just fixing the one I have, which I'm still paying off, by the way. So yeah, I couldn't just get something bigger. Like, I would love to, but that's not an option right now, realistically. And fact is, not only is this job canceled, like it's just this done, my future work for the next couple of months have been canceled. So right now I'm not, entirely screwed, but I am going to have to figure something out in the coming months because the kind of work I normally do just isn't available at this point, and the work I had coming up is gone. So that's my reality right now. Good evening, Dawn. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Armchair Wanderer. I'm shook. I got mine for $600. I would be afraid of a $600 van, because bigger is not worth more mechanical problems. And in my experience personally, having tried to go cheaper on vehicles, a used vehicle is always going to come with some trouble, but I'd be afraid of something I got for $600, especially considering my personal level of mechanical knowledge. Like, I am not really willing to risk myself on a $600 van that's going to break down on me that I don't have the means to repair. Repairs are a little bit cheaper when you're a little bit more mechanically sound, but I'm not that mechanically sound. So like, I don't want to pretend that I would be able to repair something by myself if something major happened. Maybe if I had help, maybe if I had a mechanic friend, if I knew somebody I could call who could like educate me and help me along, that'd be great. But there's no way I'd risk buying a $600 van at this financial instability I'm at right now. And the van I have, like, it got repaired and it's working perfectly. Like, I have no fear that it's going to like break down again in the near future. In fact, what happened, I kind of knew was on the horizon. So I haven't been surprised by anything with that vehicle. And it's been a very loyal vehicle. So yeah, bigger isn't worth more mechanical breakdowns that I can't handle. Minivan is better with fuel, said Gypsy from the Land of Sunrise. Yes and no. Like, honestly, I've done a fuel comparison with some vehicles that are just slightly larger, and would give me a little bit more room, and it's not necessarily true. I mean, like, compared to a giant RV, yeah, it gets way better gas mileage. But compared to some vans that are just slightly bigger, it's not that big of a difference. Depending if you're talking about gas or diesel and a lot of other factors, it's perfectly possible I could be running the same gas mileage with something bigger. Like it does okay, but like honestly, like when I was listening to what Nate gets on his NV, what does he have? Native Element van life. Like he gets much better gas mileage than I get, and I don't know that we have like that much of a difference of space. So yeah. Carol says, do you feel safer in the city in an apartment, or do you think you'd rather be in a van? The weird thing is this is kind of a town. So it has a different sense of like comfortable smallness. But I've never felt unsafe in my van. So it's really not that big of a deal. So yeah, I don't think I felt any more or less safe. I think I'd say it was about equal. Audrey, what's your question? How long can you stay there? I'm going to eat this real quick. I get intimidated eating on camera. I'm going to be leaving next month. I don't quite know. Right now, they're not pushing anybody out. But also, excuse me, I have my legal address is in California. So if I need to pursue work, like if I get in those dire straits, excuse me so much. If I get to that point, then if I need to do delivery or get a grocery store job, it's going to be easier to explain myself in a place where I have a local address. So that's sort of what has to be my motivating factor. I don't have a local address here. In fact, mail here goes directly to the theater and I pick it up from the theater. So that's blatantly a business address. We're not allowed to get mail here. So for me to like even find some gap work, I would need to go back to California where I have a legal address. And that's just the way it is. Love saying on tag, interested in a healthcare type of job. It's certainly a secure type of job to have right now, but no, I mean, I like my career, and once the world normalizes again, it's what I want to do. Like, it's not really a question. I want to stay in the theater arts. But, you know, it'd be nice to be like, there's two types of jobs that's definitely doing well right now, and that's healthcare and grocery workers. So yeah. Let me see. Glad the van is ready to go. Sorry, your work plans are screwed up. Yeah. I mean, I just try to remind myself I'm not the sort of only person in the situation right now. So yeah. Let me see. Anita, I don't know quite what you mean by Sam's Club at Walmart. FDM 215 says cheap cars are very expensive. Yes and no. Like, I feel like if you're a mechanic, you know how to take those sort of mechanics risks on a different level. But like for somebody like me, yeah, I'm not taking a risk on a mechanic special because I'm not a mechanic. And so that would be very stupid. I'd just end up, you know, in the hole trying to repair things I can't repair. The lenders are supposed to give forgiveness or alter the loans. I'm not sure what that applies to. Sly says, wow, this virus is causing a financial hardship for so many people, but I'm more worried about the sick and their families. I'm worried about both. I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be another side to this, and that's, you know, sort of when we're at that recovery point. And at that point, a lot of people will have like lost jobs. A lot of things will be downsized, and a lot of money would have been lost. So even sort of to restart those systems, it's a question of like, what are those effects going to be in the long term? While I do think there'll be some forgiveness, and like there's some places where like people are trying to get like forgiveness on mortgages and rents and all these other things, I still think like it's gonna suck at the other side, because so many people will have lost you know jobs or work or security, or like not be able to keep up with like bills or something. I mean, we have all kinds of miscellaneous bills, and like not all those are going to be able to put on pause for the amount of time that this is going to take. uh so yeah, that's how I feel about it. I think it's equal. I mean, I think it's these sick people and it's the people who are like losing work right now, but that's sort of necessary to make sure we can get to that healthy place where we can start functioning as a society again. So it's a tough spot to be in. So yeah. Love Sontag. I gave you my bro's email mechanic questions. Uh, how did you give that to me? Did you send it over email or was it in a comment? I still wouldn't take a high risk on a low price vehicle, and the reason is like I need to feel comfortable that if something broke down and mind you, even with a newer vehicle, a more mechanically sound vehicle, this can happen, but your risk basically get higher the older the vehicle is. And so like I wouldn't feel comfortable going on a long trip with a high risk vehicle. And that's where those things sort of come in. Anita says now is not the time to be moving vans around. Buy-in is download. I'm not sure what that means. Keep what you already have. Yeah, I agree with the sentiment in that. Like, this is the time for me to stay the course. So yeah. Low on the Go says, I'm sure you meant Nate. Nate's van is about around $20,000. Yeah, I don't. He also got it like he either got it new or close to new. Yeah, and that's not in my range right now, even with the car payment. Like, and honestly, like the van I have is going to be paid off in October. And I still think I'll be able to meet that goal. I don't see a reason I wouldn't. And it would be lovely to have a few months with a functional vehicle. Like, I know we're all after bigger, better, brighter, nicer. I will get a nicer vehicle at the time it's financially smart. I thought that was a goal I could set when I first came up here to work, but now my financial situation has changed. And so I have to shift my goals around the changing landscape, and that's just what it is. It's always nice to dream about bigger, better, fancier, but everything in its time, NV 2000s get about, Tim says, 25 miles per gallon. Is that, and that's the little one, the little cargo van? Because I'm pretty sure he said it gets better gas mileage than that. I'm shook says I got mine because it was owned by a mechanic. I kind of missed it. The list jumped on me. Sorry, I was reading the comments. I'm a little slow, guys. I got mine because it was owned by a mechanic who already rebuilt the engine, and the state was telling him to get rid of all the cars that was in his yard or be fine. Yeah, well, you got lucky. That's all I can say. And even if I got it from a mechanic, it's like if it's not somebody I trust, they can still scam me for all, I don't know what condition the van's in. Like, I will, the next time I buy a vehicle, it still will be used. Hopefully it's something a little fancier and newer, but I will be paying for an independent pre-buy inspection, no matter who I get it from, because I just think that's smart, to have a set of independent eyes like on the vehicle. RG says, I'm blessed to be parked in a driveway. Yes, definitely. Deborah, California shut down right now. I know, I'm wondering about that. Like, I don't know what the state of me, like, quote unquote, going back is. Because I don't know what it's going to be like to drive back into California. Yeah. like, I don't know if I can be like, hey, I live here, I'm coming home, because I know like they're trying to restrict travel. So we'll see what happens. Like I'll check it back in with you guys. I'm just tired of paying rent. I needed something bigger for my emotional support dog. I suffer from PTSD. I'm shook to understand, but like, I guess my fear would be getting out of one situation to get into another situation that could blow up on me. And I think like my whole thing is like, I don't want to go from bad to worse, and like a home on wheels I can't afford to like repair would be worse. Hopefully your situation is great, but that would be my personal fear, to trade one secure situation for a bad situation. But yeah. Sly, I'm in healthcare, but it's very scary right now. I think the whole situation is scary. It's when we honestly don't know what's going to happen. Like, I feel like it went from, oh, we need to delay things a couple of days, to we need to delay things a couple of weeks, to we need to delay things a couple of months. And because the situation is constantly changing, it's really hard to feel secure. And on one hand, you don't want to be one of the like panickers that, you know, have stolen all the toilet paper, but at the other side, you don't want to be stupid and not respectful of the stress of the situation. And so, yeah. So Deborah Jackson says, everyone smash that like button. Let's help her out. Which brings me to a couple of points as far as like the channel. The best way you can help me out is watching my videos, rewatching my videos, letting the ads play through. You know, I only get a small amount of money from YouTube per month, but it's extra money. So like, you know, clicking on and things that cost you nothing. It's like, you know, watching ads through, clicking on ads, rewatching videos, like all that stuff is helpful to me personally right now. So if you have the ability to do those things, they do help the channel. They help keep monetization at a level where I can have at least a little bit of like gas money and some extra fare from YouTube. So yeah, all those things are good. So smashing like buttons, commenting, watching and rewatching videos. I know ads are annoying, and if you really hate the ad, feel free to click it off. But you know, letting some ads play through, all that kind of stuff helps. It's scary. It's kind of scary. Shook says it's kind of scary how certain items are still missing from the grocery store shelves. I work at a grocery store. It's crazy in Florida. Toilet paper and meat aren't always stocked. I don't know the last time I saw any paper products at the grocery store. I just went the other day to pick up like 3 things, and there were no paper products. Like even alternatives to toilet paper were gone. There were no wipes. There were no tissues. There were no paper towels. Like it's crazy. Dijon, I'm going to show this one. Well, you have had a lot of issues with that car. What I've had with this car is I've had tires, which are normal. I've had things that were coming up for maintenance anyway, according to the mileage. So yeah, I've replaced a starter and a radiator, and the timing belts had reached a point where they needed to be replaced anyway. As I'm getting more educated about vehicles, this is the kind of stuff you should pay attention to anyway. Like, they are machines. They're going to show their age. There's certain things you should do to take care of them. There's nothing that this car has done that has been unusual. And I have certainly had more days with no problems than I've had with major problems. And like, nothing has been abnormal and nothing has been insane. It's felt insane at the time because I just don't ever have a lot of money. I don't know the last time I was successfully able to get my savings account over $300. You know, I would get it to 3 and then I'd need that money. I would get it to 2 and then I would need that money. I would get it to 1 and I would need that money. But for my situation, there's nothing that's been like super duper crazy insane. I mean, the biggest problem I've had is tires. And that's like freak accident encounters just driving a vehicle. The timing belt needed to be replaced. The radiator issue was something I was aware of, but money was really, really tight. So I was kind of struggling being able to get it. And it finally was like, you waited too long. So yeah, there's nothing been like crazy where I'm like, that's just normal car ownership. Like if it was like breaking down every time I, went 2 miles, like I drove all the way to Vancouver and back without any problems, like in a day. So yeah. So there hasn't been a lot of issues. There have been issues, but there haven't been a lot, to be quite honest. Life happens. Armchair Wanderer. I know I'm kind of slow here, guys. Yes, bigger, better is good. Debt-free is much better. You'll enjoy it when you're there. Nancy McIntyre, this echoes my thoughts exactly. I hate having to go to a mechanic. The mechanic who did my timing belt is a great dude. I love that he points things out, and he shows me what's wrong. But that only has security as long as I'm within driving distance of him. So I want to keep continuing to educate myself sort of about mechanical issues, just so I know I can handle more things on more occasions, or at least be able to know what I'm looking at. I know the last time I called the AAA guy, and again, you're gonna be like, mechanical issues. Let me think. I think I've called AAA to jump my vehicle like 3 or 4 times. At least 3 of those times were entirely my fault. And one of the times the battery actually needed to be replaced. And so I ended up taking care of that. Again, that's like normal car stuff. Like batteries are going to have a life. You're going to accidentally leave lights on too long. I remember at one point I put it in the ACC position where it's not to start. And it was only to get like my portable battery like charged up a little bit, and I forgot and I took a nap, and when I woke up my battery was dead. So that was all on me. Like that's not a failure of the vehicle as a whole. Nancy McIntyre says, I always feel like, and this is back to mechanics, they're going to rip me off. Me too. I'm going to scan a little bit, guys, and see what else I can respond to here. Because the chat is getting ahead of me as usual. I've heard CHP, is that California Highway Patrol? Is not stopping people for just driving, so you'll be probably fine to return to Cali. That's what I'm figuring. And I have my driver's license with my California address on it. So if I get stopped, I can be like, hey, I was out of state. I couldn't stay where I was anymore. I need to come home. And just show them like my driver's license. So yeah, figure that. Audrey says, don't forget to like and share. Dijon asked me, am I looking for another van? I've been fantasy van shopping. Or I should say fantasy vehicle shopping for what I would get after the minivan. I'm letting my food get cold here, guys. I'm just talking to you guys. So yeah, like I'm thinking about it, but it's not realistic right now. So what was sort of a realistic possibility not too long ago is less of a possibility now. It's less realistic. It's just not possible. And the smartest thing I can do with the money I have is continue to pay off the van I have. Like I said, if I can only make the exact payment and not extra payment, and I've been throwing in a little bit extra, it'll be paid off in October. And that's not that far from now, to be quite honest. And it'll be lovely to be at the back end of that. We'll see what kind of mechanical condition the van is in at that point. But like I said, everything that's happened to this van is normal. There's nothing like really major or like I fixed it, but I'm still afraid that it's going to, get worse down the line. So yes, I'm fantasy shopping. I'm online window shopping. I've had like 3 things picked out, and then I'm like, Don, you can't afford this. uh, Patrick Slater says, India is shut down for 2 weeks. I can binge watch your videos. Thank you so much. And like, if you can stand it, let the ads play through. Give them a click every once in a while, and then like click out of it. No, really, please only actually, pursue stuff you actually care about. I see some annoying ads sometimes. Like everybody who tells you you'll have like a Mercedes if you sell on Amazon. I'm hearing a beep. What the heck is dying? Something's dying. Congrats. That's all I want to say to that is congrats. Thank you for the $15 super chat, Dorian. Is that been the only super chat? I didn't miss any other super chats. I'm trying to really pay attention to the chat. Something is beeping. I know that beep, but I don't know it's dying. I have something near me. It's about to die. Oh, I think I know what it is. It's this thing. Okay, that's fine. It'll die. Boop, boop, boop. For anybody who needs alternatives, Audrey says newspaper works. Who has a newspaper? Do people still get the newspaper? Is that a thing? Dijon says, what is your limit of miles and limit on dollar amount? I have literally, unless you can give me a van for $200 that's not going to fall apart the day I drive it off, I have no money for a van. That's just the way it is. Esther says it'd be more expensive making repairs and sticks and bricks. Thank God you're debt free for the most part. Anyway, I wouldn't call myself debt free until I get 3 credit cards out of my life. I do not use credit cards. Have not for the past few months. I fell on them for emergency money a lot when I was completely desperate, and I kind of regret it. Now, if I don't have the cash for it, I don't buy it. So that's a thing. Audrey says, what is my email address? I'm going to type it in the comments, but it's usually in the, if you click the little down arrow of any of my videos, it's usually, sorry, I can't type and talk. Did it go? Okay, I forgot to put the .com on there, but obviously it's twistedquillproductions@gmail.com. Audrey says, I had to replace the studs and trims on my bus. It was costly, but I don't regret choosing my shuttle bus. Ooh, you got a shuttle bus? That's nice. Those are cool. Kevin says, you should move to Austin, Texas. Right now, moving anywhere would be impossible. Because now is not a good time to be faking an address, for lack of a better thing to call it. I have my whole address situation already set up to move in a way where I'm legal somewhere. It just takes a little bit more effort. Well, I don't know what kind of works in Austin, Texas either. I would have to investigate that in relationship to what I want to do, because one of the main reasons I live the lifestyle I do is to be able to do the work I want to do. Now, right now, that's not an option. The entertainment industry is basically shut down. So doing theatrical work is kind of difficult. But my goal is once all this craziness is over, to get back to that. So any place I move is based on that. I will take a higher cost of living to be able to do the work I want to do, because that's the reason I pursued this lifestyle. So yeah. Gypsy from the land of sunrise asks, why did I choose a Toyota Sienna over some other minivan? I'm going to take a sip of my tea. It wasn't a sip. That was like a gulp. Well, one, I walked past the Sienna and I was like, oh, this van is cool. It looks really roomy. It looked really big for a minivan. And that was just my outside impressions. I also had an older Toyota car, and that Toyota car was over 200,000 miles and honestly ran great. And I got it used toward what most people would consider the edge of its life. And so I had a lot of trust in the Toyota brand. And I like the minivan, I mean, to be honest. So yeah, that's why I chose it. And opportunity. Like, I was looking at a whole bunch of vans. I was kind of, the Sienna was probably like in my top list. Like, if I can find a van, this is in my top list. And I happened to run across one that I was able to get. And yeah, I mean, there were other options. Like, I was totally open to getting like a cargo van or something like that. And another reason I liked was I love that stow and go, like in the back of the van. Now I've looked at the Dodge Caravan, which has like the stow and go middle seat, which a lot of people who've done like minivan conversions, they take out that middle seat and they'll use that for storage. And I honestly like that better now. But at the time, I'd seen like the stow and go rear seat, and I was like, oh, that's extra storage. That's great. I'll just pull out that seat and I'll be able to like customize the rear. It hasn't worked out as nice as I planned in my head, really, due to my limited construction skills. But yeah, like, I don't regret it. It's been a loyal vehicle. But those are some of my motivations. Okay, so I don't know if StreamYard is like doing this right. Dorian Nash, and thank you for your $15 super chat. StreamYard confuses me, and I feel like it makes me miss super chats, which I don't like, but it's very easy to get on a live with this program on the tablet and not have to use my cell phone. Boop, boop, boop. Bye, Armchair Wanderer. You were gone a while ago, but late goodbye. Esther Stevens, what vehicle was it you dreamed of for the upgrade? I was looking at shuttle buses, cargo vans. Like, because for me, it's more like size, a little bit bigger, and price range. And so the size, and I was looking at a couple of Class Bs too, because size and price range are more important to me than like, oh, I want a standing height, like Sprinter van or like ProMaster or something like that. Like, that didn't matter to me so much as the amount of space I was gaining, and how much that would cost me, and the general stuff, mileage, sort of how beat up it looked, if there was signs of rust. So for me, it was more about getting a little bit bigger and what I could get for, a certain price range. And I was experimenting. I was like, okay, so if I'm willing to bend on like mileage a little bit, what can I get for $10,000? If I'm willing to take a car payment, what can I get for $20,000? And I was sort of experimenting with all those factors and just throwing it into different kind of search sites and auction sites and just seeing what popped up to see what was available. So for me, it's more make or break. There's like must-haves, like more space, price limitation, which, there's no way I'm going to get like a $50,000 van or anything like that. And accessibility. Like, when I took all of my factors and searched within like 100 miles of me, how many options did I have? And what was the price range of those options? When I was willing to be like, hey, if I have to fly there and save some money for a plane ticket, and pay for like, there's this service where you can like send somebody out to look at a used vehicle, and then you just get like a detailed report back. So if I was willing to do those things, like how much would that cost? Is it worth it to sort of open up my window to things I can't access easily, like nationwide, 500 miles, 250 miles, 100 miles. So just trying to be flexible within like a couple of standards. And just see what's out there. So there was no like, oh, I'm definitely searching for like a Sprinter van or a ProMaster or a shuttle bus or any of that. It was looking at a multitude of options that would sort of give me the space I want. And for me, that's what it's about. I want more space. I'm just at the point where I want more space. And I would like to have a standing height camper. So those are my goals. Doo-doo-doo. I talk and there's like so many comments. So many freaking comments. Dawn, here in New Zealand, we are set for a 4-week lockdown. No movement at all except for essential services. I've just applied for a payout from the government. Yeah, I'm looking into my options, I guess I'll say, at least to get some assistance along the way. Nancy says, I like some of the ads. Sometimes I really enjoy them, and I've clicked on a few of them. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy, are you saying coffee? Here's another option for all use those that can't find toilet paper. I never thought of that one. That one's a good one. Apparently, they've been telling people not to flush their t-shirts. So people have been using their t-shirts as a substitute. Oh, shoot. Answer to this question is yes. But some of them, even if, they actually start work again at the end of the shutdown, which their job's still relevant, mine isn't. So yes. I would have loved to buy in a shuttle bus. I suck at parking something so big. If you have a big cargo van, I don't know what you have. There are shuttle buses around that length. They would just be taller. I could never get like a big like vehicle. I say that now. Right now, I don't think I could. I don't feel like I could. But a lot of the, there's like really short like shuttle buses. There's variations there, but some of them aren't much longer than my minivan as far as the length. They just feel bigger in a certain way, I guess. But if you've driven like a pickup truck, it doesn't have all the boxy like weight on the back, but pickup trucks are really big. Like I've been like uncomfortable when I've had to park like a pickup truck on like, I've never owned one, but I've driven them. When I've had to park them in like a parallel parking spot, like in a city street where everything is built for tiny cars, like I've been panicked. Like that's the thing. Fly Book says, "Hey Dawn, I saw your Nolo ad. How cool! Here you are live." I'm glad you enjoyed my Winolo ad. Other people have seen this ad and I haven't seen it. Somebody I did a Winolo film shoot with. Yes, I was a model. I was a model for Winolo. They basically had us like dress in work clothes. It was actually fun. And then like, they took some pictures of us like, Winolo's fun. I'm holding a box. So like other people have seen this ad and I have not seen it. A friend of mine sent me one of the pictures and it was like, she's like a casual fan. I actually met her at the shoot and it's us like just holding the boxes. So yeah, that was fun. And I never thought I would be able to say I got paid for modeling, but this fat girl right here got paid to model. So yeah. I had a Sienna. It was my favorite. But I was a soccer mom and not a nomad yet. Yeah. So you were what that van was intended for. Yeah, I feel like I would never get something. I would always like, even if like there's some future where sort of I moved back into like a sticks and bricks style of life, I would always want something that if the stuff hit the, the fan, as it were, I could just like take my minimal belongings and know, I'd be okay and comfortable. Like I don't think I'd ever be comfortable owning something small again, if that makes any sense. I mean, honestly, I'd rather get like a pickup truck before I got like a standard car ever again, because at least with a pickup truck, you can always get like a truck camper and throw it on the back if you need to. um, which I'm not against, but that's like two things to buy. Um, like if I already had a pickup truck, it'd be different, but that's like two things. Doo-doo-doo. Are you a member of RV Village or like Moon Doctors Welcome? What do you think of these membership clubs? Any opinions? I am not a member of either. I think it depends on your lifestyle. For me, I knew like I needed to stay near my jobs. And so until I was in a different sort of financial place, I didn't really find those useful for what I needed to do in my particular lifestyle. I think I mean, like from what I hear from other people, they're great. But like until I'm in a place where my work is more independent of needing to be in a certain location, they wouldn't work for me. For me, in my opinion, and I may be wrong, that is for like it's for a different lifestyle than the one I currently living. I used to drive for FedEx and Airborne Express before they became DSL. A box truck with tons of miles from FedEx. If they sell them, a box truck would be nice. Box trucks are great. I'm like really into box truck conversions right now. They are so cool. You can find a camper for free and redo it if you had a nice pickup. Yeah, truck campers are just really like the truck camper is really cheap. It's really just having the truck. I'm on the fence about how well you can kind of trick people with those in the trick people with those on the street, just like general parking. I have seen them randomly. Like I saw one parked in San Francisco near a venue I was working at, and somebody had a pickup truck with a truck camper on it, and they just parked it. It fit, in the space. Excuse me, guys. All right, I'm back. That was embarrassing. But anyway, like I was saying, I have seen those randomly parked on the street. uh, uh, what are you referring to? Because I'm curious. I think I kind of missed the context. Do. You know who else sells their old box trucks? Penske and U-Haul. They actually sell their old box trucks as well. I haven't been on their sites. Also, if you're going to one of those bigger companies that are nationwide, don't just do a search near you. Do a national search, because you'll find like almost the same specs in another state for a cheaper price sometimes. So if you're looking in the box trucks and you're going to like, some sort of national company that's just reselling, trucks that for their purposes have gotten too old or have too many miles or has some other reason that they want to get rid of it, like never just do a local search, always just do a nationwide search. See if you can find things further away from you and do some experimenting, because you might find out like in another state that's maybe bordering your state even, there's some other options that might be a little cheaper, and it's pretty much the same van, but it's a markup because of where the van or truck or whatever is. So I'm a fan of nationwide searches, even if you're like, okay, I can't go all the way to Texas, or I can't go all the way to Washington, or I can't go all the way to Baltimore, or I can't go all the way to Virginia, or I can't go all the way to Chicago. Sometimes it's good to look and then really do the math in your head and ask yourself if it's worth it, if you're willing to go out of state. I mean, it's like, why not look everywhere? Just look everywhere. Journey 50 is asked, are you stuck where you are? I'm not so much stuck as I'm staying put right now, because I can. I do believe I could drive into California if I wanted to, but I'm waiting a little bit to see sort of how things shake out in the next couple of weeks. There is no immediate like push out from where I am. Like I can stay here at least for now. But I do need to make a plan to get back to California for multiple reasons. One of them being like access to work. Sorry, I'm reading comments. I will highlight this one. Mac's husband was a mechanic for U-Haul and Penske. He said, forget U-Haul, get Penske. Great tip. Thank you very much. Is there a reason, Deborah, that one is, I mean, does one like just take better care? Like what's that about? I mean, I feel like everybody and their father goes to U-Haul. Less people try Penske, even though, you know, it'll be basically the same result as far as renting a truck when people need like trucks, either for moving or whatever. So I would think those get less bodies going through them than U-Haul. Like I would think U-Hauls like they roll in and roll out pretty quick, but also like what is their mechanical upkeep, you know? This question. Not necessarily. That's my answer to that right now. Staying put is a cheap, wise choice. Yes, but I really need to think about making money. And there may be more options if I go back, actually, than if I stay too long. Yes, I have. That's my answer to this question. Yes, I have. So yeah. Any other questions? All right. So before, when I thought that I could, you know, afford a few more extravagances, I actually got something. Ooh, I just dropped it. So it's something I've wanted for a while. It's in this bag. So this is a gimbal. And I love it because it's tiny and it folds up. Most gimbals or stabilizers are way bigger than this. And so this basically unfolds like that. And then you lock it up. And this is kind of, stop wiggling. This thing is so freaking wiggly. Wait, are you beeping? No. Let me get my cell phone. So here's cell phone. And put the camera on here. So you put it on here. Unlock, unlock, and unlock. It's really loose right now, but if I power it up, watch it. And it's stabilized. So basically, the camera will stay balanced. And I really wanted one of these, and I've been holding off on buying it because it was, I mean, like these are like $80. Like they fall into like the cell phone ones, the one that are just built for cell phones. They fall into sort of the, oh shoot, don't do that, Dawn. They fall into the words. You can find them used on eBay for as low as about $50. You can find them around $80 or $90 on Amazon. And I really wanted one just so I could stabilize when I was like walk shooting. And I was like, oh, I'll just buy one. I'm going to get good paychecks for the next couple of months. So I went ahead and bought it with the money I had in the bank. And of course now work's gone to crap. But I have a new toy. I bought it. That's the way it is. But yeah, it'll keep the phone pretty much stable when I'm like walk shooting and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And I could use it for a selfie, or I can there's a camera. I can shoot from this angle, or like I can selfie myself because obviously I'm looking at the screen right now. So that was pretty good. So I have me a gimbal now. Like I bought it, I own it now. There's a park nearby. It's called Lithia Park. So I want to do a walk with this, and just shoot some footage for you guys. I think that'll be like a fun video to do, and I want to do that before I leave, because it's a pretty park. Yeah, this is just something I got off from Amazon, and it's nice to have. And then it just folds really tiny and goes in a bag. And there are much bigger like gimbal devices out there, but this one is really tiny and I love it. It's one of the smallest ones out there. It's called the Feiyun Vlog Pocket. So we'll see what kind of videos I can create with this, and hopefully the videos will help make me some money, and then I can balance out the fact that I bought this. But I've wanted a stabilizer pretty much since I started having a YouTube channel, and now I have a stabilizer. So I bought it. Meh. So yeah. I was asked, where did I get it? YouTube. Not YouTube. Amazon. Yeah, I bought it off of YouTube. No, I bought it from Amazon. Now all I have to do is get a better phone that can shoot like higher quality video, but I'm just gonna roll with what I got for now. But the good thing is now I have the stabilizer, so whatever phone I get in the future, I can just pop it into the stabilizer. I was looking at like the GoPro, but I'm like, I could get like an $80 stabilizer that will adapt to whatever phone I get in the future. Or I could spend like, what those things cost, like $400 for a GoPro. And I was like, I don't think it's worth it. Not for the level of where my channel is at this point. Like it's just not bringing in enough income to justify a $400 camera. And mind you, that's cheap for a camera. Like good cameras are way more expensive than that. And usually you're just buying the body, and then you still have to buy the lenses, and then you still have to buy all this additional equipment. So like knowing I have the stabilizer, and then like when I upgrade my telephone and I have a little bit better camera, like it'll just, the stabilizer will travel with whatever my phone upgrades are in the future. And I thought that was a better purchase than trying to get like a GoPro and be like cool and be in the GoPro club. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot a video this week where I take a walk with it, and we'll see how nice it turns out. It may not turn out that nice. I'm still like learning how to use it. There's some Bluetooth features, but I haven't quite figured those out yet. But still, it's cool. It's fun. It's a cool thing to get. So Gypsy said, what's it called? It's called a Vlog Pocket by Feiyun Tech. Did I say that already? So there, it's Feiyun. Feiyun. I don't know. It's a Chinese company. I do believe this came from within the US, but obviously anything getting shipped right now is being slowed down. So yeah. What? That is awesome. Well, cool. Nancy McIntyre X, is it on my Amazon list? I think I added it. I just added a section to my Amazon page. And mind you, I'm going to have to edit the description of this video once I'm off the live, because I don't have a lot of the description in there yet. But on my Amazon page, there is a new section called YouTube. It's called YouTubing with your cell phone or something like that. I forget what I called it. But that section has specific... Actually, I forgot. I'm on StreamYard. I forgot there's stuff I can do on StreamYard I can't do on other things. So let me just look this up real quick. Forgot I can show you guys things now. Give me a second and I'll get it pulled up. But yeah, once the live is over, I'm gonna go back and edit the description, and in the description I'll put a link to the gimbal. But yeah, but I got it from Amazon. Bye bye, Audrey. Thanks for joining me. Woo! The comments got ahead of me again while I was doing things. Thank you for everybody who's coming out, by the way. I really don't even know what I want to say. I had all these plans in my head and they kind of went away. Let me see this. Hi, Dawn. You've probably answered this question before, and I apologize for re-asking, but how did you deal with the negative comments from family members when you told them about van life? I didn't have any family members who gave a crap. So that part was easy. I did have a friend who just didn't get it. And she was very concerned about me. But I just went ahead and did it anyway. And sort of in the year and a half since I started, she's just come around to like, oh, okay, that's it's cool. She seems fine. like over a year and a half later, none of the major disasters she imagined in her head had actually happened. And so like, it just happened over time that it became normal, that was my normal. And seeing how normal it could be sort of made her more settled about it. But it's one of those things where you just have to go and do it. It's your life. Do the thing that you're passionate about doing. And it'll either work out for you or you don't. You can't really worry too much about sort of what other people are going to think about it. Like this one, it's pretty crazy how 1 minute you think all is going great and then boom, life happens. But it turns out that ops turn into a boot. I hope I can feel that way about sort of everything that's gone down. But yeah, it's like, for example, the gimbal. I bought the gimbal thinking I'd be in a different situation at this point than I'm actually actively in. And I could be upset about that. I could be like, oh crap, I spent that money thinking, there was going to be a different amount of money coming in. And that situation changed, but it's like, you know what? It was something I wanted. I bought it for myself. And now it's just time to deal with the moments after that. There was a couple other things like I bought that I was just like, oh, I'm going to be fine. It's great. And it was like, oh crap. It's not great. Like, it's gonna be tight the next couple of months. Woo! I don't know if coming out here. So another thing I want to show you guys, I got while I was in the Walmart. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I've been looking for something like that. Now I don't know if you guys remember, but I had those tiny little plastic plates, and they came with like a Coleman like camp set, and I don't like them because they're too darn small. Like, they're too darn small. And so I was in Walmart and I found this, and I was like, well, this looks cool. It has like a normal size fork and spoon. It has these two collapsible things, and it has these two like bowl like plates. And so I've tried them out in the house to see how I felt about them. I really do enjoy them. I found something similar to this, and I also put that on my Amazon page. This is not going to become an Amazon advertisement, but I did put them on my Amazon page. I'm sure there are people walking past right now like, why is this crazy person talking to her computer? But basically, you get two of these guys. It's basically a two-person set. They're much bigger than the little plates I used to have. And I like that they have this rim because it keeps you from... Because I used to eat out of a pie pan anyway. Because it was bigger. It was bigger than the little plates I had. And these are like much bigger. So I like these so much better for like a plate, but also like protecting me from spilling things. And then also, these are really great bowls. In fact, I tried eating cereal out of these, and I really, really like it. It holds what is realistically one serving of cereal, which is great because it controls the serving size. And because they're more tall than wide, they're also very stable once they're like in this position. It doesn't look like it. You're like, that's flimsy. That's not stable, Dawn. But it actually is more stable than a wider bowl, again, which spills more. So I can very easily eat like a serving of cereal out of this, which I really, really like. And then I actually didn't like a lot of the like camp, like sport things. I really don't like them. And I'm actually getting rid of my metalware and replacing them with these, which came with the camp set. It's just a normal fork, knife, spoon set. And, you know, give me a second. I'll be back in a second. Shoot. So yeah, so that's what I got from the Wally Mart. Amazingly, nobody was in the camp section. Everybody was in the food section. I got it like a week ago where it wasn't bad, but it was like it was going to be shut in for a little while. And so like I was just like, well, I'm here. I'll just stroll around the store, just to stroll around the store. And that's where I found it. So yeah. All right. This page finally loaded. It took forever. I've been waiting for this page to load. Let me look at some comments, see if there's anything that I forget it. Char of Heart is reminding us to give us that thumbs up. Yes, please, as I said earlier in the video. Any interaction I can get on my videos is really, really, really just going to help at this point. Scott Keen says, too cheap. I don't need anything expensive. Like, this is perfect. Like, I like the plastic better than the, like, metal stuff. Karen just got here. Hi, Karen. One skillet dinners are where it's at. Yes, it is. I like the collapsible bowls. A great space saver. All right. All right, cool. I got it up. So I'm going to show you guys something. If I can get on the right tab. Share screen. Share screen. All right. Chrome tab. Give me a second. Sorry, I got distracted for a little bit there. I'm going to come back to this. Like those collapsible walls, great space saver. Christine says, I'm just going to display this because it's a lot of words. Christian, sorry, I said your name wrong. Give me Christian. I mean, like, I think they care, but I think they also have their own things going on. It's like themselves, their immediate family, like their children, and then other extended family as much as they're accessible. So yeah, I mean, I think it's on that level. It's like, oh, I just noticed you on Facebook. Are you doing okay? I'm doing fine in a conversation. Like, it's not like a deep, like, thing. It's not that deep of a thing. So yeah, that's pretty much the level. There is, the problem is once you deal with unions and video are different. This is an equity production with actors who are in a union, stage managers that are in a union. So the theater itself just can't decide to do that. There are permissions, and also right now it's also those people not interacting with those people. So it's like nobody's going into work to even do something like that. One, and as far as any pre-existing like things they may have already pre-created, because of the unions, there are permissions involved in that. So it's not something they can just decide to do. YouTube is against me. That's what I think you'll see. YouTube is against me. By the way, there's a certain thing I cannot say on YouTube, like my last video, because I mentioned it, I got demonetized. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about that thing directly. That I will not say the word of that thing. I will not say any form of the word of that thing, because that thing is causing lots of videos to get demonetized. And I'm trying not, and that was fine. I felt like I needed to have that video where I blatantly said that thing that I can't mention. But if I mention that thing, it's possible demonetization could come with that, even though we're pretty much talking about that thing that I can't talk about. So yeah. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get it off my face for a second. So I did revise, because you guys were asking about the gimbal. And so here it is. It says, I have a new thing that says YouTube with your phone. And in that section, I actually have a lot of the things that I myself own. So for the people who are asking about the gimbal, we're going to go ahead and open that up for you. Mine is, did I put mine here? Here it is. It's the $79 one. So on this page, you'll find a lot of the things that either I own or I'm thinking about getting, just to enhance my YouTube channel. There's another gimbal on here that I've just seen other reviews of, so it's kind of like mine. But this is a bunch of simple stuff, none of it too expensive, and it makes it really easy to YouTube with just a cell phone. And so, yeah, I wanted to make a little section dedicated to just that. So for anybody who was asking about the gimbal, it'll be on this page, and I will make sure that there is a link to that. But there's a section that's called YouTube with your phone, and that's where you will find that. Oops, I went back. Do, 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 do. So for anybody that was interested, that's where you can find it. Ooh. Give me a second. I know my brain's a little distracted. I will put this in the chat. Ooh, the big bad bug. I like that one. We can use that instead. So for anybody who wants to look at the YouTube with your phone section, I threw that in the comments. I know it's a little delayed. We were talking about the gimbal earlier, but I figured I'd throw it in there. Oh, we've been live over an hour. I didn't realize that. Oh, so another thing. Again, there were several videos where this didn't make it into a video. I bought, oops, I dropped them. I bought channel stickers. Meaning to, I dropped a sticker. Let me get the other one. Oh, man. Ugh. So I have these ones too. These ones are cute. I have already sent some of these to people who are on my Patreon, and I was meaning to announce that I was selling them. And every video where I intended to announce it just ended up not making it all the way through. So yeah, I am on the fence about doing a lot of mailing right now. I know there's a lot of delays with the mail, and also like there seems to be a lot of like not sure information about how much the big bad bug is a threat via mail. There seems to be two thoughts on it. And so like I'm reluctant to do something that would cause a lot of mailing right now or add to that. So like I'm going to sell these in the future. I'm also have some people who have contributed to me who I owe stickers to. And I will be doing that in the near future. But right now I'm holding off on sending anything through the mail. And I'm not trying to be a panic person. I don't want to be on that level, but I feel like it's a good thing to not be doing. I mean, I know like people are getting like, essentials delivered. In fact, Amazon is still doing a little bit of Flex. I don't know how much Amazon Flex is available. I'm an Amazon Flex driver. Like I have the app and I can just open it up. But I can only do it in California unless like I call them up and be like, hey, I'm in Oregon. And I don't know how much work is out here doing Amazon Flex. I also don't know how much I want to be just going to strangers' houses right now. But while Amazon is shipping essentials, and obviously things are being shipped into stores, not doing a lot of mailing right now seems smart to me, but it is something I want to do in the future. The stickers exist. I have them. And even though it would be a little bit of a monetary gain on my part, it's just not something I want to do right now with the big bad bug out there. Like big bad bug. I've just claimed that. That's my thing. Karen, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. That means a lot, especially right now. There was a question that I wanted to answer. This one says, how many cell phones do you have, Dawn? Do you have one just for the video shoot? I actually still have an old phone. It was a Virgin mobile phone, and sometimes I use that phone. It has a worse camera. I mean, it was a Virgin mobile phone, but like even after your cell phone doesn't have service, the camera still works, so I keep that as an extra. It's also nice to use it as a demo phone when I need to use my actual phone to film with. So I actually have two. I have my actual cell phone, and then I have an old Virgin mobile phone, which I keep as a backup camera. And then I have my tablet, which I'm on right now, which also has a camera because everything has a camera now. It says, all of that thing, and yes, it may be hard. Dang, they are cute though. Thank you so much. Hopefully I can get them out to more people. I'm at least gonna wait like a couple months and see how things sort of play out a little bit. I'm sort of in a wait and hold mode right now. And I dropped the stick. I'll get it later. I'm not drinking much of my tea during my tea time live, y'all. And my food got cold because I was just sitting here talking and I never ended up eating my food. So now I have a cold plate of food beside me, guys. That's all right. This is actually fun. It's like lifting my mood. I've been in a funk, honestly, since the last video that I posted. It's just been getting worse and worse. Finding out my future work was gone, trying to figure out where I stood with finances, all those things, they really weighed down on me. And I just don't like to make videos with too much bad energy. Sometimes I need to rant, sometimes I need to get stuff out, but I always like to reel it back and find some positivity and not come with the negativity. And so, it's a thing. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It means a lot. Sorry I didn't highlight the other one. But it was just because there was a comment attached. Deborah Jackson says, I'm an eBay reseller. I go to the post office every day. Nothing is wrong with the post office. Just keep away from people. That's not what I'm worried about. There seems to be a debate about how long this thing lives on surfaces, and how much, there's really no track. Like allegedly it's a myth that has been debunked, but the length of time this can live on surfaces, even if it's not from me, just in the passage from me to its end point, is what worries me. And maybe it's a illogical worry, but if I can reduce that as much as possible, at least for now, that's something I want to do. Just because there seems to be so much debate about how long this thing lives on surfaces, and the amount of hands, things, and people that packages interact with in the way from point A to point B is what is sort of encouraging this. Now, mind you, I still I got a couple of things the other day that were shipped in. And so obviously I am still interacting with packages, but the fact is those packages touch a lot of hands. Excuse me, in between. It's like money. Money is literally paper money is the most disgusting thing on the planet, which a lot of people don't realize. Paper money is horrible. Because there's all these things you don't know about its life before your hands touch it. It was something when I worked in food service. It was something I could not get through people's heads. I was like, money is disgusting. You can't take your glove that you're using this, and this was way before the big bad bug. You can't take, I would tell people, you have to change your gloves once you interact with the customer's money. And people wouldn't like that because they would have to make the sandwich and go to the register, and they had just changed their gloves and they would have to change their gloves again. And so they wouldn't think about it. I'm sure now in this climate it's completely different. Yeah, money's disgusting, guys. Paper money, it's so disgusting. Karen says, I think feeling down is understandable for all the disruptions in your life. That's true. And I think people always, and no, I do. I always live in this place. It's when you're a little kid and your mom gives you a plate of food and you're like, ew, I don't like that. And they tell you there's children starving and you dare reject my food. And so you always get in that place. It's this is bad. But there are people out there in worse situations. I mean, there's people out there in great situations. They can literally sit at home and wait this out, and there's no immediate threat to their income, and they'll be fine. Or they at least feel confidence on the other side of this. There's something. And then there's people who I literally don't know, what's on the other side of this. I know people who have been laid off their jobs because the job had to downsize. And they get a certain amount of pay, but after that, there's no pay. And then there's people who are contractual or hourly or whatever, where either their hours are being cut or they no longer have a job because that job involves interacting with the public. And those, and there's all these levels of bad, but it could be worse. And then you have to remind yourself you're allowed to feel bad for your own situation. And that's the hard part, because I want to be oh, there's people in worse situations than me. Yes, this is bad, but there's all these other good things. YouTube is a good thing. I have, YouTube. A lot of people don't have that. And that does give me this much of income. If I needed to just hold my breath and, just use YouTube for gas money, I could probably get by at least with gas money and enough food not to starve via that platform. But because that's pretty much all I can do, what I get from this. But still, other people don't have that. So it's these little things I need to be grateful for. But on the other hand, am I going to make my car payment over the next couple of months? Am I going to be able to pay my insurance over the next couple of months? How much will I have to let my credit cards go to crap and then just deal with it on the other side? There's all these factors as well that aren't so great. And I was in a great place. I was paying on those things every month. I had a goal to be done by the end of 2020. No more credit cards, no more debt. Being paid off, only things that are consistent bills. Your cell phone bill is never going away. You'll pay for that as long as you want service. But to just get down to those things was my goal by the end of 2020. I don't know how possible that is anymore. And it was very possible with what was going to happen in the next couple of months, and now it's not. And it's okay for me to feel bad about that, but I hate having that energy. And it's I want to face the world with a smile as often as possible. But I need to stop making myself feel guilty for when I don't have that. But it's hard. It's very hard. Journey 50, thank you for the $10 super chat. It means so much to me. Everything helps right now. Already looking into it. I don't know. That situation is more clean when you have a standard job and not when you work the way I do. So yes, it'll help. It still won't be equal to what could have been. That's what I'll say. It's not going to be equal to what could have been, but it can help me get by. So that situation's already being looked into. Oh shoot, my computer froze on me, guys. There we go. Oops. My husband's check was decreased by 10% through his company, cutting salary employees. We just looked as at least he's still getting a check, but it's still upsetting because we have plans. Exactly. And when like it was already tight, when it has to get even tighter, it's not fun. So you can go, oh, there's people who have it worse, but that doesn't mean your situation is not bad. And you're allowed to take some time to take in the bad that's happening to you. And I think I just needed some time to do that, to be honest. And now I feel like I'm a little bit more at the other end of it, and just trying to deal with what's moving forward. So yeah, everybody who's sharing their sympathies, thank you. My computer decided stupid tablet. This thing was so like not worth it. It's like the stupidest thing. Like I hate this thing. I will never buy this thing again. It's horrible. Like it works well enough, but Karen knows this is a smart thing, so I'm going to highlight it. It's futile to compare. Trouble minimizing your experience makes things worse. Yes, it does, because it makes you feel like you're not allowed. It's what I call the pain Olympics, where it's like you have a complaint about something that's like getting to you, and then like other people try to take away your pain with the pain Olympics of like, you know, but here are worse things, or my situation is worse because, and that sort of takes away you being able to deal with like your own struggle. I don't know if any of that made sense, guys. Let me know. I don't know that I'm like the best like motivational voice right now. But I know there's a lot of other people in there with me. And I am trying to look forward into the realities of moving forward and not look like I've dealt with the this sucks moment and just being stuck in the this sucks moment. And now it's the what comes next moment, what can I do moment, how can I actively change things moment. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. Okay, this is the reality right now. There's a lot I can't predict about what's coming next, but what is my next move? Maybe I'm just not going to plan for months out right now. Maybe I'm going to plan for, this is what I'm going to do this week to move towards a better. This is what I'm going to do next week to move towards a better, and keep moving like that. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I feel like there was something else I really wanted to talk about on this live. No, I don't remember it, but I'll just make a video about it. I get distracted on lives, and then I miss what you guys are saying, and I hate that. Well, I've been on for almost an hour and a half, it looks like. I think I'm going to wrap this up unless anybody else has anything. I'm looking around to see if I have anything. Oh, so one good thing is I have been refocusing in on my fitness. And so like I have like a little portable DVD player and a bunch of workout videos. And so I've been doing those every day for like almost like 2 weeks now. And it was something I was intending to like restart recently. And then this happened during that happening. And my big thing is like, don't let it derail you. I've started counting my calories again. I'm pretty much only drinking tea and water at this point, because beverages are just extra unnecessary calories. And so like, why add those to the pot when all I really need is water? But I have gotten a little addiction to these things. I actually like them better than LaCroix. LaCroix. I never remember which one's right. But these things are great, especially sparkling water. It has like literally no calories. It just has this sort of that, bubbly sensation to it. So I really like those. And then I have my water bottle with a filter in it. And so basically, like, it'll filter water as I drink it. I don't know how effective this is, but I'm trusting it. It's been fine. So that has been a good thing because it gives me sort of, there was this day that I was just like laying in bed, like I don't know what to do with the situation I'm in. And sort of having to get up to at least do that, to tell myself, hey, I've restarted this. I do not want to stop. Making myself get up to at least do that. And I'll go either into the backyard here, or I'll walk down to the park and I'll put on my DVD and I'll do the DVD. And it sort of gives me this sense of accomplishment every day. So that's a big thing that I've been working on, and I'm really proud of it. And I want to keep moving forward with that no matter what. But that could be a whole other video about what that's about. Because I've like fallen off the horse so many times, and it's usually because either of an extreme job change or a extreme housing situation change. And so I'm trying to like, Kiera, I'm about to get off. Hi, Kiera. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I'm gone, guys. Thank you for your company. Thank you for your comments. Just thank you for showing up for this live and just spending some time with me. I will see you next time, and hopefully very soon. All right. Time to face the rest of the day. At least what's left of it.